People, if they're on a podcast, they're more likely to have their name pop up when somebody is searching in Google. I've also found, because so many people are starting to use ChatGPT for search, when you're on a lot of podcasts, you have a lot of credibility behind your name. So that will also lend to you showing up on ChatGPT as
I am really excited for you to meet Julie Fry. Not only did she have an interruption in her life that is pretty profound to hear about, she helps authors, coaches, businesswomen get on podcasts because she understands the value of a podcast and how it can promote you and your product and your service. So just remember, when you decide to work with Julie Fry, let her know that Coach Lori from Interrupted sent you. If you've been thinking about doing a podcast, good news. I am offering my $597 course to you for free. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcast, give a 5-star rating, and write a review. Take a picture of it and send it via email to Coach Lori, LAURIE.com. And I will give you access to the course for free. That's how passionate I am about getting busy businesswomen to do a podcast and leave their legacy. Okay, on with the show.
Has your life, your dreams been interrupted? Good news. It is possible to reinvent our lives. People are doing it every day, and some are brave enough to share the struggles, disappointments, and challenges. If you are looking for a new beginning, a do-over, or to rediscover your passion, maybe even find a new one, then grab a cup of coffee and let's talk. Interrupted, Act 2, Reinventing Your Legacy, with your host, Coach Lori.
Julie Fry is the founder of Your Expert Guest. And Julie, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Lori.
I've been so excited to talk to you about this because it's right down my line. So
yes.
Why don't you tell us about what you do, what you love about it?
Oh gosh. Well, I have been a super connector of people, really specifically women, for most of my life. I didn't realize it was my gift or my superpower. I just assumed everybody, when they went to a networking event or they met other people, that they were constantly thinking about who the person that they were talking to should meet. And then I realized, no, people don't do that. Prior to this business, I had a networking company for women balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship. So we did live events, an annual conference. So it was a lot of connecting people together. After my kids were starting to get older and I was kind of itching to do something different, so I exited that business at the beginning of 2020 and I started Your Expert Guest. Really, in the intention, I wanted to do something where I could connect people because it's something that comes super easy to me and I'm really good at it. That's what I love about it. Although I have a team of account managers who works with our clients, booking them on aligned podcasts so they can get heard by their ideal client. So I don't do as much of the connecting piece anymore, but I still get to help my team and recommend podcasts that I know would be a good fit. So I love it.
I love that too, especially being a podcaster, because I love having guests, especially ones I love the people I know, but I love it when I get to meet new people like you. So if somebody was, say they just said, I need to get on a podcast, you would help book them. Do you teach them how to talk on a podcast?
We kind of have two different ways that we work with people. Primarily, we are doing the full service, getting them a media kit together, helping them with their strategy, helping them with the right stories to share on podcasts, and really aligning the whole conversation to what their end goal is. So if they're talking about a book that they want to launch into the world, how you're not just talking about the book, you're talking about your stories of transformation that are in the book. You're talking about how you help your clients. We do provide a fair amount of coaching, but if people really want to go super deep in media training, we also have resources for that. And then the other way is more of the folks that want to get on podcasts and maybe have a smaller budget. We put together a list of podcasts that we research specifically for them and then give them that list along with how to pitch the podcaster or the podcast producer so that they can do it themselves or have somebody on their team do it for them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that because sometimes I'll get guests and it's their first time and they're wanting to build up to what they do. And I'm
Mhm.
always like, hit the road running. I had this one particular guest. He was he was a Marine, a very straightforward. This is what he does. He helps companies with their teams, but he never told any stories. And
Yeah.
I said, well, what are your stories? He's like, I just teach them what to do. I go, but do you have stories? And like that, it wasn't connecting how important stories were. And I loved it because he was a single dad. He was African American. And he said, he talked about his daughter a lot. And I said, tell me about your daughter. And he goes, oh my goodness. When she was little, I spent 3 hours doing her hair. I get her to preschool and they go, oh, honey, we'll take care of her hair. He's like, I spent 3 hours. I go, that's a story. That
Yes.
matters. That's why you need a team and you're working on teams. It is so valuable to have not only have the guests, but have them be able to tell a good story and connect.
Yes. And most of the clients that we do end up working with that we're booking on podcasts, they're established speakers. They've already been on a number of podcasts. And so they've kind of gone through that early journey, like when you start your own podcast and you never
Mhm.
want to listen to those early episodes again, except for you, because you have the background in radio. But most podcasters, when they first get started, they're like, oh, I never want to hear the first 5 episodes I did again.
I love it that you said that because I help ladies, busy business women, get their podcast up and going because it's such an asset to their business. And they'll say, oh, I don't like my voice or whatever. And I go back and listen to your favorite podcast and pick the first episode. Practice makes progress. And even as being a guest, if you're a guest enough, you kind of get the hang of it. If I coach people, if they say, hey, I say, know something about the podcast, about your host, because that'll kind of pull them back. They'll go, oh, they know me. And it engage. I feel like because of my work in radio, I would get so many requests for the public affairs shows and they're just busy. They're not looking. They don't care about your show. They care about getting on your show.
Right.
But when they would say, oh, well, I know that you do evenings too there at Warm, I'd be like, wait a minute, maybe I'm going to, it just engaged me more because
Yes.
it showed that they cared.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we always tell our clients is go to their website before your interview, check out their about page, check out their social media so that you get a sense of the host and you're not going in totally cold. We want the host to relationships are one of our core values. Our business is thriving because of our relationships with podcasters and with people who refer clients to us. And we want our clients to be an extension of us when they show up to an interview. They're prepared. They've already done their research about the host. So yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
And you've already referred someone to me. And it was so funny because I actually knew her and I heard her speak one time. And so I'm very excited to have her
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She used to
very
live in
cool.
Seattle and then moved to Boise during the pandemic. She's no longer
Oh,
local, but that probably is where you heard her, is in the local Seattle area.
yeah, I think it was Exceptional Connections,
Oh,
the
yes,
networking group.
yes.
It sounds like COVID and your kids growing up is what caused your shift. Was it an interruption or was it just the next best thing?
That's a really good question. I'll be honest, I turned 50 in 2019. I've never had a depressive episode until then. It just took me out like I got hit by a bus. I found out later that was tied to menopause and change in hormones, but it just made it where I couldn't function. And so I needed to exit that business because it was very me driven. It was about me being at events and me putting on this conference. And I think it was a double dose of burnout related depression that it was just time for a change. And what's been really nice is I had a bit of time to be super intentional about how I set this business up, what things I didn't want to be a part of this business. And I think it was a really great interruption because I probably wouldn't be here without that experience. Like so many of our experiences in life, that you kind of need the hard stuff to get to the good stuff. At least that's what I believe.
It's interesting that you say that because I have a podcast friend, Wonderful Morrison. Do you know her?
Yes, I know the name. I don't know that we've ever met before, but I definitely know the name.
She works with businesses. She's brilliant at it. But what happened is she was having all these things happen. And she realized a lot of it were connected to menopause. And she's like, why didn't anybody tell me? And so she has
Yeah.
shifted her podcast to talking about that. But it's so crazy because, like you said, well, then I realized when I was going through menopause, there was the internet, but I wasn't recognizing any symptoms or anything until then I look back and I go, oh, no wonder.
Yeah,
So
there's
I
a lot
think,
more information now, but there's still a lot that's missing for people. And because it affects everybody differently, no two people have the same experience. So it makes it challenging for doctors that are trained, kind of this one way. Hopefully, with all the advancements in research, women will be studied more. We'll see.
yeah, definitely. When someone comes to you, and you are looking for podcasts for them, do you kind of stick to one category or like what's your criteria?
Kind of step one is we talk about what are your goals? Are you looking for visibility around a specific service or product in your business? Are you looking to just kind of continually build your credibility and your thought leadership? Are you looking to promote a book? There's lots of different reasons, as you know, for people wanting to go on podcasts. So we find out that goal first. And then from there, talk a lot about who their audience is and drill as deep down as we possibly can. My least favorite answer when we ask somebody, who's your target audience? Oh, it's women. Well, what are their ages? Are they working in corporate? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they stay-at-home moms? So we get really, really targeted, even down to the industry if it's B2B, so that we can really align those podcasts.
I love that because it's like in marketing, what we always learn is if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody.
Yes.
And one of the things when people ask about speaking or being on a podcast because of my radio, it's like if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So talk to one person. And it's
Hmm.
really hard. I've been coaching this group. They're just launched today, their podcast. And it's so funny because I'm with them for the first few and they go, hey, everybody. And I'm like, no, this isn't
Yes.
for everybody. It's, oh, welcome back. And then so that people will lean in and feel like it's one-on-one, it's
Hmm.
personal. And people don't even realize that. And they feel like they're being inclusive when they're really
Yes.
being exclusive. And I had a friend who did skincare and I like, who's your target audience? She goes, anyone with skin. I'm like, that's not working for me.
Yes, I love that you share that advice in the calendar invite because it is a good reminder that you are talking to one person and you really want to connect with that one listener.
What else would you like someone to know if they're going to sign up? They're like, yes, I want to be on podcasts and I don't want to do it myself.
Yeah, it is one of those businesses that people are often surprised that people like us exist. My mom, who is 94, and every week when I see her, she's got a little bit of dementia. She'll say, "Now, what do you do again?" Because she doesn't have a concept of what a podcast is. So I have to tell her it's like an on-demand radio show, Mom. With that, I would say if somebody is interested in getting on podcasts, really think about what your goals are. What are you trying to accomplish? And then I'm always happy to chat with people. And if we are not the right fit, which we are not the right fit for a lot of people, we work mostly with women business owners, thought leaders, and speakers and authors that are mission driven. Say you're an accountant and you want to go on podcasts. Our favorite kind of accountant to work with would be one who has an agency and she's employing stay-at-home moms that want a flexible schedule so that they can be there for their kids. So that would be kind of an example. We like people that have something that helps them stand out, a unique point of view. Those are the people that we love working with. However, I have lots and lots of resources in my network that I'm happy to refer people to, whether it's a podcast guest and host matching website that's available for a monthly fee. There's groups that exist on Facebook to help you get on podcasts. There's so many different resources.
Yeah, that's true. Julie, this is so wonderful to find out about you. And I think it was
Oh, Katie Duke.
Katie Joy Duke,
Yes.
when she connected us, because that's something that I think is really necessary now with the amount of podcasts. Like, I get a lot of requests, and I know they don't know anything about my podcast. Like, they'll send me, it's like, there's obviously no interrupted moment. There's no breakthrough.
Yeah,
There's no, I try to be really gracious when I respond, but I don't always respond to everybody.
sure.
But I love it that you're tailoring it so that they might have more success in getting on.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, our goal is to help people get the word out about whatever it is that they want to and amplify their voice. So, yeah, we're happy to provide that service for people. And it's really exciting when we see our client wins, like getting their book on the bestseller list for Amazon, or they close a number of new clients as a result of their podcast appearances. So that's what makes it really, really worthwhile, is seeing the wins for them.
Yeah. In fact, one of the things I tell people is when you're on a podcast, when people Google your name, you'll
Hmm.
pop up more because you've been on
Yes.
a podcast. And I think that that's really valuable real estate there. But also, I tell people if they decide to have a podcast, we can work on getting them in the top 10 or top 5%. And it's all those things that you do specifically that give them wins that make it so rewarding.
Yes. And to your point about people, if they're on a podcast, they're more likely to have their name pop up when somebody is searching in Google. I've also found that because so many people are starting to use ChatGPT for search, that again, when you're on a lot of podcasts, you have a lot of credibility behind your name. So that will also lend to you showing up on ChatGPT as well. So you're getting kind of double bang for your buck there.
Right. I've heard people who are on a lot of podcasts as the expert guest.
Hmm.
That is so great too. I love that you started out by doing this helping moms and you did all
Hmm.
this mom networking. I'm like you, I'm a connector and I just always thought everybody did that. And then I come to find out, oh, it's kind of a specialty. Uh, but what I love about having a podcast is having people that I haven't met, people like you,
Hmm.
but also like the opportunity to connect guests with other podcasts because many
Yes.
of the women I do interview do have their own podcast.
Hmm.
That kind of network goes a long way because if I am listening to a podcast I really like and there's a guest on it, guess what? I go get their
Check them out.
podcast.
Yeah, it is fantastic work networking, whether you have your own podcast or whether you're being a guest on other people's. And we always suggest to our clients, stay in touch after the interview because this is a great person that you've just added to your network. Don't just show up and then never talk to them again. Make sure that you're checking in, a couple times a year just to see, what are you working on? Is there any way I can support you? Do you need any guests for your podcast? So yeah, I'm a big fan of making sure that you're nurturing that relationship.
And whenever they have something new, like say they write a new book or they've had a
Yep.
life event, often you can get back on. And I love that advice because I like it when people stay connected. And when I do a podcast, then I come up with these reels, I come up with all this stuff and I promote all week long to get people to listen, and I do fun snippets of people talking. I always hope they'll share. I've asked people to, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But when they do, I think it gives them more visibility too, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, look, I was on this podcast. Look, they did this reel for me. If you use the resources the podcaster gives you, I think that can go a long way in helping promote as well.
And videos get so much more engagement on social media. I heard a stat on LinkedIn, you get like 8 times more engagement with a video than just a static post. Reels and the videos are definitely a good way to get your profile more visibility too.
Oh my goodness, this has been so good. So, Julie, what is it? And it doesn't have to be about guesting, it can be about anything, but what is it you really, really want us to know?
To use your voice. We all have an amazing ability to create change, influence people, and it starts with one person connecting with another person. And podcasts are a phenomenal way to do that. Just an example, I have started a book club to learn more about democracy. It has been really satisfying to see just the impact of this small group of people, what that one person is doing to help other people learn more about our world and our history. Yeah, your voice is very powerful, so use it.
I love that. That's my mantra is tell your stories, use your voice.
Hmm.
Women my age, they're often, well, my kids don't care. It doesn't matter. Tell your stories. When you're gone, your kids are going to care and they'll be able to find it on your phone, on a video, a recording,
Yep.
or, when my brother-in-law passed away, my sister clung to his phone. He had done some videos with the grandkids. Like in
Oh,
the old days, it was just the answering machine.
yeah. No, we're so lucky to have all those resources nowadays.
Yeah, we can really leave our legacy, and that's
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so if somebody wants to work with you, where do they go?
To yourexpertguest.com, and you can schedule a call right from there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. It was lovely meeting you and getting to talk to you.
If you love this podcast, here's a big ask. Will you share with your friends and family, subscribe, give us a review, and a 5-star rating so that others looking to reinvent their lives will be able to get the help they're looking for? Thank you in advance.
And remember, if you've been thinking about doing a podcast, good news. I am offering my $597 course to you for free. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcast, give a 5-star rating, and write a review. Take a picture of it and send it via email to Coach Lori, LAURIE.com, and I will give you access to the course for free. That's how passionate I am about getting busy businesswomen to do a podcast and leave their legacy.